Hi, it's Willie's American Guitars. Do you know we've been around for 35 years? I can't believe it either. So, this video is not about Les Paul Juniors, but I've got a Les Paul Junior in my lap that I'm going to play. Lovely, right? I'm playing through a 1965 Tremolux head and cabinet in original white, rather unusual thing. We've covered that in another video, but what I've come here to talk to you about today is this. This guitar is really rare, in part because of the color. This is a color that they would make for a year or two and then discontinue. But that blue will pop up. They don't currently make this blue, but they did make this 425. And the 425 Rickenbacker numbers are weird because normally if it has a 5 behind it, it's a vibrato, but this doesn't because it's an older 425, and don't ask me because I don't know. But you can hear the difference. This has a real woodiness. These Why a three-way switch on a guitar with one pickup? Tone control, baby. It assigns different tone controls to the... assigns a different resistor to the, or capacitor, to the tone control. So that's something Rickenbacker thought would be rather clever on their part. But this guitar is feather light, and you just heard it next to a Gibson PAF. The PAF has got a little more power, and this, on purpose, has a little less, but still has that woody bottom end and a nice crisp high end. And this is what you might call a modern collectible. In 1974 or so, Forrest White from Fender left Fender because CBS had bought him and joined Rickenbacker. And when he did, he came up with a lot of designs that are kind of unknown. So modern collectibles is a growing interest as pre-65 instruments rise into the stratosphere and continue to rise. People are looking at stuff like this, which is a 1982 double bound, and they called it WB, with binding. This is a 365-12 WB, and you can see compared to this vintage reissue how the neck sets in on this one. Some of that was Forrest White's input at Rickenbacker. Again, he worked at Fender, the king of practicality, and he made this neck a little more solid. And these are really solid 12 strings, and you can see the difference at the end of the board here compared to the end of the board here. If you look at Rickenbacker light shows, the most expensive Rickenbacker I can think of, they're going to have that type of neck. Or Geddy Lee's double neck is going to have that type of neck joint on it, and they do that for durability. These pre-1965 Rickenbackers always had binding, or almost always had binding on them front and back. Late 64, 65, big changes came to Fender, Gibson, and Rickenbacker, and then the binding became an option, and they called it special order, or WB, with binding. But the 365 or 360 models always had a stereo jack. You need a box to split up, but this is a 12 string. And they come slightly out of tune. Yeah, sorry. So there you go. This is a 1980 425 in a very rare color. I've been doing this a long time. I collect Rickenbackers. I've never seen this color. If I didn't already have a couple of one pickup Rickenbackers, this might not be for sale. But this is, well, it is for sale, and this is also for sale. This is a 1982, and these are both from that Forrest White era. Not a lot of people knew that, as you might imagine, both companies are in California, and Fender shed one of its head designers, and people in charge, and they moved over to Rickenbacker, and this is really a neat guitar, a modern collectible. On that note, I will let you go back to what you were doing. Give us a call.